If you are enjoying our content, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. This will help our channel grow. The History of Spartacus and the Gladiators, available now. Get your free copy at www.easyhistory.net. The Samurai. Nobility and honor are the qualities the samurai were widely known for. They were renowned as strong and superior soldiers, skilled in the art of wielding swords and unmatched in prowess and military combat on the battleground. Countless movies as well as animated series have graced mainstream television, showcasing the samurai's fighting abilities and contributing to their legacy. However, the curious mind begs to discern the myth from reality, who they really are, and where do they come from. We'll delve in to take a look at the legend that revolves around the Chinese warriors and understand what makes them who they are. The geographical location of where they were born can be pinpointed to a few branches of land scattered over the Japanese island archipelago located by the side of the Korean peninsula and the then Asian mainland. An interesting fact about the samurai is that they did not come from the elite descent, as might be the image that comes to mind with regards to the fearful warriors. In fact, their history starts off from a more humble descent that went on to gain power over time, as denoted by the fact that the word samurai literally translates to servant or henchman, and this name was given to them by the elite class of the Heian capital, who wanted to distinguish themselves from what they thought of as the unsophisticated lower class. The Heian city is what gave birth to the popular Heian period, dated from the year 794 to 1185, and is celebrated as the last period of classical Japanese culture, which later went on to be Kyoto. For placing the original roots of the class of the samurai, we can go back to the early Heian period. As early as the 8th century, they started off as a group of families having semi-autonomous feudal domains that formed a network. This group was the initial stage of what would eventually become the samurai, and their starting military insight was actually borrowed from people of Emishi descent, from whom they learned the concept of horse archery. Equipped with their unique battle tactics and the combined strength of the banded families, the group of early samurai slowly became larger and stronger. In addition to that, was an exemplary display of discipline and a tenacious fighting spirit by the samurai, which is widely admired and is what was able to lead them to their victories. The samurai themselves also held great pride in their ability to be highly disciplined, as they would adhere to an extremely vicious code of conduct, as demonstrated by a ritual suicide called seppuku that members of the samurai would willingly commit as an alternative to dishonor, which entailed death by self-disembowelment. Seppuku was a much respected practice among the samurai, which consisted of stabbing the abdomen by dragging from left to right. A higher form of respect was given to those who would then stab themselves a second time below the sternum and pierce their throats. This ritual exemplifies the strict sense of honor that the warriors had in all aspects of their life and how they would not hesitate to demonstrate their courage, unwavering loyalty, and their sense of purpose in the face of any challenge. In the early 12th century, as the samurai group was amassing their power, the central government of Kyoto became weaker and almost seemed disinterested in running the country, which gave the samurai the perfect opportunity to increase in both independence as well as popularity. Due to their unique fighting style and discipline, they were entrusted for the security of the daimyo tribe, which was a tribe of powerful and influential feudal landholders. They were further entrusted to the security of the state and thus started to enjoy a status of nobility and honor, up to the level that the appointed chiefs of their clans would either be a distant relative of the emperor or a member of the regional powerful clans by the names of Fujiwara, Minamoto, and Taira. The esteemed warriors established a strong protection for the state and continued to shut down rebellions all over the country during the Middle and later Heian period, due to which they gained significant economic and politic influence in the imperial court. In 1160, occurred the Heiji Rebellion, resulting from a rivalry between the clans of Taira and Minamoto. Taira no Kiyomori was the samurai warrior to emerge victorious from these historic battles, and his victory qualified him to become the imperial advisor, the first of the samurai to come to that position. Ultimately, he was able to seize control of the central government and push the emperor down to just a figurehead by establishing the first shogunate, military dictatorship of Japan, known as the Kamakura Shogunate. A shogun was to be a senior-ranking military officer that reports to the emperor, but in reality, the emperor was just a figurehead, and the shogun held the actual power. But even the shogun was in the pocket of the powerful landholders, daimyo, and essentially, they were the ones calling the shots. Either way, the samurai continued to rise in power and status, now having formed the first samurai-dominated government to exist. Not long after, the samurai-dominated government came under threat when they were attacked by Kublai Khan of the Yuan Empire. Although they were at a disadvantage in the form of numbers against the attackers, they were able to defeat them and hold their ground by using unconventional techniques of suicide attacks by driving boats full of burning pitch into the opponent's fleets. In the end, they were able to pull off a win as nature sided with them, and 2 thunderstorms helped in defeating the Yuan soldiers and fleets. Although victorious against Yuan's attempted takeover, a significant blow was dealt to the manpower of the samurai and left them with dwindling numbers and resulted in the falling of the first shogunate. After which, the Ashikaga shogunate came to power, but could not prove to be as powerful as their predecessors. The rulers ended up losing confidence with the daimyo and eventually lost control over all the provinces. The country then resulted in an informal formation of several hundred separate feudal domains that was ruled by the noblemen of daimyo. Although, the dissolving of the Ashikaga shogunate did not have any effect on the power of the samurai, and they went on to enjoy what is referred to as the golden era of samurai warfare. Continuing to display their valor and might in wars for Japan, they rose to the greatest lengths of nobility and power that the samurai had ever experienced. This golden era continued up till the year of 1600, which saw an unprecedented era of peace after decades of wars and internal national unrest. Under the Tokugawa shogunate, after Tokugawa Ieyasu won the Battle of Sekigahara and fulfilled his purpose of unison of Japan. The samurai warriors who would normally be fighting with the military started to occupy their time with different occupations, such as clerks, night watchmen, tax collectors, and security guards. The great samurai had to adapt their Bushido philosophy to match the values with which they could earn money during the modernization of Japan, due to the influence of external Western powers. They also resulted in the abolishment of feudalism, ultimately leading to the demise of the political power that the samurai had. In the end, the samurai that started off as brutes, but still gained an insurmountable power over the whole nation, made their mark as noblemen and exceptional warriors, and their legacy only gained positive elements with added virtues of politeness and kindness.